So again, what I would say last, thank you for all this insightful workshop, for your expertise and experience, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thank you. Thank you. Really touched me, the words that you have said us, and I feel that these meetings make sense to do this. Mm-hmm. Really makes sense beyond the academic work or beyond the humanity side, the community side. So grateful that you have made this comment. On the luckily, as I said, the presentation, similar presentation I have done online, and I attended it. Yeah,
I showed some.
So really, one of the message that came was we developed the system. So in order to add and fix for an additional language, we don't need to spend the money that we have spent in order to build this. So from the technology side, apart from the time of adjusting the thing that remains, nothing is needed when it comes to the technology side. So that's the good news. I mean, we are using elements that we developed. I'm doing this, with all my heart. So I'm not charging money. I'm not looking for time that I'm doing. I do, and I'm willing to do and deliver. Luckily, my university now it's hosted the database of my institution, so it doesn't add to a need to buy new domain or new money to spend. So even from that, at the moment we don't need to. The University of Naples will be taking over. My university will be taking over the whole database again, hosting. So if we develop with huge number of different languages, we shouldn't worry about buying or from the technology side. What the community can do is exactly what you have. In order to make this, first of all, independent, so we do by ourselves. So we don't depend the UNDP or the UNESCO or someone else who helps us. I think community-driven, collected money, and giving money these young people in Asmara or here who can do workshop and collect this data, and in giving them, will be really helpful. So the money that you collect will be good enough for them to dedicate 3 months or 2 months or month to add more information, dedicating time, not as a user, but people who are working on it. So from that could be really helpful if you promote the idea that people should be given small amount of money in order that they do good job, and most importantly be accountable with the work that I do. The second thing is that if the community can help to sponsor some of the works of the scholars for this language, it could be a second generation of our children who's grown here, who are doing everything else except working on their language. So, but no one will give scholarship them to do Saho language. No one will give them money and scholarship to do Somali language. If we do, then they will be independent and they will do the job. So sponsoring scholars, sponsoring young Eritrean Saho speaking. So we go beyond ethnicity. Anyone who can speak Saho can learn will be good to be invested. So inviting, for example, and providing scholarship other people who learn Saho language as a second language. That's another way tricky to help that the language goes on forth. So other people, we had sponsored, for example, 3 Chinese students who want to learn Somali. We offered 3 months study stay with us in Hargeisa, paid their ticket. Now one of them is teaching Somali language in her university. And it was a minor thing, just we invited for the book fair, and then the interest started. So I think it's really good, what you have said, that going back, you look for money because of nothing comes for free. You need to have funds. But I wouldn't worry looking for funds, big figures that come from outside. Let's do by ourselves and let's sponsor people who can work on the language, people who can do 3 months workshop and research to understand and collect words, young people who are in Eritrea back who can use the system, put in data, and for example, there is something that I developed on the mobile. Now young people have only one mobile, so they don't have a computer. So if you connect it to the Somali Corpus through the mobile, you see text in Somali anywhere. You can take a picture and automatically the system takes these words. And I put in a way that the more words that this device adds, it counts and collects money. So $0.000 for per word. 10,000 words, it becomes $10. And a young person who is in Hargeisa collecting $10 and having a top up for their mobile is a major thing. They don't realize that they enriched the database. They were thinking, like the YouTube. The more you use, the more you click, it grows. That's the interest, you know. And the system, if I can, let me show you what. This is Saho. We go to the Somali. Social media management. You see, the last week, the people, if you look, Hassan Ahmed, 19 posts, collected 11,000 words, which means 64,000 words, and they collected 1,000 Somaliland shilling, and this amount of money. At the end of the week, they can get this money and charge as a top up for their mobile. They use for data, or they can just get the money from any shop that they get that we had. It's a way to engage the community and things. So if you collect small amount of money and train a group of young people, and then it's like, you know, catena, we say in Italian. It's a Caddos. So good suggestion, but we don't need. Luckily, I know some of the software here. If I had to restart, probably I would have needed $50,000 today if I restarted the web. Luckily, we have the system function. It's based on my PhD thesis, and then many other people working, many other scholars working after me. So it's not even my own property, everything. It's a community contributed component. So happy to give back to the community and in this and other language.
Thank you.
كاد وقت كمان الديانة السر تلين كوم أبلول كفره كيا اللي فره اللي بكاكو تا بروجكت يا كه تنجح ولا تا أرح كاتو بيني كه نكره هم أدو حيا وكن كدشم تام community معناها لقايا أريجين لكن أكيد تكنيك ولا لقويا يرسلون ريعان لكن نورما ساهو يبدح يوتوكي ملامي تمال لقاك يفتشياك عن لا يذكر بدي على linguist مثلا لغات معناها لغات حفظ ذاتية مع على سيجش عيده أنا به IT person كادو خيبة لي معناه تما software وهابي كهله كادو سكان هبان بالي تاي أول هو سك أبيه سويت كيبا كون تمشي احتياط دولار كبوكال الفريرين كنا نقيسه هذا لكن ما جينا هبان إنه إياه نانو نينه تتمنى نشتغلوا دعينا نكون نيرو وليا بقول تعيّك هبناك وليا بقول لي أميد اشتغلي يعني مرة ولا عند الركض تمام هلك هبان نقيسه جيكا مثلا ثمانة عن كاريس كتيمكو دولارك هتحاول بالي أنا motivation ما يكنا هين متبابعي تما يدكون سنة كهبطوا بالي هم أجينا كنتا حيو تشغلونا دعيتان تشغلين نجحوا يكنكو هنا كيان.
I was showing the screen on the Twitter message that has been posted. Now the Twitter and the social media is becoming where really the ideas are shaping now. It's not anymore the radio, it's not anymore journalists, it's not anymore mainly the Twitter, but in general the social media is shaping also the life of our young generation. So I was just checking that it's where you get indication how people are following. If I posted for Somali language similar thing, instead of 11 people who like it or retweet it, probably we could have 1,000, if not 10,000 people who do it. Which means I invite you, for all those of you who use social media, even if you don't use normally social media, use for your language, because that's where the really the interest is coming from. Otherwise, it will remain behind. Maybe some of you use Twitter, maybe many of you use Facebook, if not other social media. But you use in English language, you don't use in Saho.
Yeah.
So try to do this habit of using your language when you are speaking to your community, of course, because it's a way to create. If there is I remember there is a YouTube channel. The reason why I'm mentioning Twitter is because of we want to create the interest of those who has money and use mainly for advertisement for different languages or instruments for translating, automatic translation, or voice to data or data to voice generation. Those people who have the power, who have the owners of Facebook, owners of Twitter, owners of Microsoft, so to see the interest in your language. When the interest came, not for us but for money, because if they want to go after money, then it's a win-win case for us. So please use. If you use social media, try to use in your language. Follow the people who are working in the linguistics. It's a generational thing, I understand. If students were here today, the young generation, probably 90% or 99%, they will say, oh, I'm following you, I use Twitter, blah, blah, blah. If I ask how many people use Twitter, probably we are the opposite now, So there is a generational issue, but we need to go back since we are in any case using social media, let us use and take advantage of using in your language. The second thing is the more information that you can share with us. Sometimes you get in PDF in your email, someone who sent you. Of course, if there's a privacy thing, you don't need to send something in a privacy, but anything that you can share and share with Ahmed Saad, so the team receives it goes automatically to database. So that's another thing that I ask you to please do that. The third thing is use the system. I will share with you the official address, so Ahmed can distribute it to the community. But use for your own use. For example, if you want to write a text, even an email, and you want to spell check, you can use the same system as a spelling checker because of it goes indirectly because of it takes the text and it gives you how many words that it doesn't know, and it collects those words that it doesn't know. But you identify if this word is not known because of it's a mistake written spelling checker, or because of it is a system that isn't known. If it is a spelling checker error, you identify it, so you correct before you send the email or before you send the text. If it's a mistake, if it's a mistake, you correct it. If it is not a mistake, but the system is not known, the system captures this word. After 10 times, it sends this to me saying, oh, this word is being used by 10 different people. Perhaps it's a Saho language. Can you check? And I pass back Saho, someone who speaks in Saho, and then say, yes, it's a Saho language. So indirectly you supported the system. So using the system is also a way to support. And most importantly, this suggestion of really organized thing. sometimes you can say this week we collect, the community meets every week or every month. Let's collect all the proverbs that we know. And someone writes, someone you did something nice in your language, in your community, but also you helped the language itself and the Corpus. So I think if this habit if continue, definitely we can make something nice for the next generation, for our upcoming.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, this is the end of this session. We hope this is not the last one. This is the beginning. Thank you for joining us today.
And I hope really that we can have, when we finish with Saho, we can pass also another sister language.
Yes, Afar.
Yeah, so we can come up really in a few time.
Yes.
Or our language. And it will give opportunity other students who are doing their master's degree to do thesis about this and work on it, collect and create. And it's a way of building a community of knowledge production community, So it's not only for me the language, but I see that we can do something finally independent from ourselves.
Earlier when you mentioned about the language and the use of it, and there is a specific way of saying it to a particular action. And actually there was a professor in SOAS back in early 90s. He has done some work with Afar. He has done the dictionary of Afar actually. Yeah. And then he started working on Saho with our elderly, highly respected dignitary. His name is Saho Suleiman. He's not here, unfortunately, today. And but he had published 2 papers on Saho. I don't know if he's still alive. He was an elderly professor. Okay. And when he came across the language of Saho, he felt there was a sense that it's a very deep language, because we have different words for a different action. For example, wash your hand in English. We don't say wash in the same word. We use a different word, odol. And then when you want to wash your face, in English you say wash your face. Always use wash. In Saho we say it full. It's a completely separate. And then akalit, you can neither odol or intuful. It's the whole have a part. So it showed him that he said this language must be very rich. Absolutely. And to be honest, with some of the proverbs, it shows how the language is deep. But unfortunately, it has been oral for so many years. And luckily that there was some work which has been done during the field to do the academic work. And Brother Ahmed Saad is one of the products of the work which has been done. But inshallah.
No, I think we are in the right direction, and just being conscious that if we don't do today this will be just part of history. We will be only saying our language was rich, we will use in the past, saying, but that will be lost. So we need really to take back action and act and for the sake of for our upcoming generations and our identity. That's where we feel proud and part of it.
Caddos, just to finish. I can find it. رمع شركة ناجحة تقدر تاجينا ل شغلي نعنوان لك يعني نوك ولا ممكن تما بشر حيد حيو منجه منجو حيو تناول إتهانك أكيد نبلغات بولات الجدية كتابات مثلا نظام ما هي كتب لي نلقات لي